What's up guys, Spin Firearms here, and if you've seen this channel then you know I've been putting out a lot more range content, a lot more range footage and stuff like that. And what people see is, majority of my handguns are micro 9s, subcompacts, pocket pistols, single stacks. They're all smaller, easier to carry, and just easier on your lifestyle overall while still having a gun on you, right? But what people notice is my recoil control. How I handle the recoil of stuff that people consider snappy, like the Hellcat, or pocket pistols like the Taurus Spectrum, the LCP Max, or the Glock 29 and 10mm, the Glock 27 and 40, the Glock 33 and 357 SIG, my Shield and 357 SIG. They're all small, light handguns, but all have some power to them and tend to be snappy to the average person. Before we get started, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe. Today we're going to simply talk about my grip. That's it. And what I've learned, I don't really work out, but I also have some things that I do work out at work with these little utensils that I got after having double wrist surgery that actually help with shooting and grip overall. Let's get into it. Well, a little over 2 years ago, I had double wrist surgery. As you can see, my scar here and my scar right here, right? Double wrist surgery. And it definitely changed my hands overall, right? 1, 2, 3. My hands get stuck. I can't do 3. I can do 4. They're like, it's really weird. 1, 2, 3. My hands are just much stiffer ever since my surgery. Also, I do new construction plumbing, which sort of just, does a number on your hands overall and all together, right? That's why my hands look terrible. In terms of how big my hands are, stuff like that, I wear size large gloves. But for those size large gloves, I always have like a little bit left over in the finger department, right? My fingers are shorter but fatter, right? If you look at them. On a handgun like the Hellcat, I can get 2 fingers with that flush mag, right? And so I curl my pinky underneath. Whenever I can't get my 3rd finger on something, I always curl underneath. People always say, how do you do a mag reload? Well, you just move that pinky out of the way, right? It's very, very simple. But I do like having the pinky under there on smaller handguns. On a subcompact like this Stoga right here, people like smaller handguns like this where it has a base plate. You get 2.5 fingers on there. When I get if I can get 2.5 fingers on there, I keep 2.5 fingers on there. If it's like 2.25 and my pinky's sticking off like that, then I'll curl, right? Then I'll curl it around, wrap it around, and I shoot just fine with it, right? A handgun that has like a full-size grip or a compact-size grip, I can get full 3 fingers, so I just do it like how you would normally hold a handgun, right? Now let's get overall grip. If you watch my video where I shot 500 rounds through the Hellcat, 500 rounds through the P365, all in one video, it's up on the channel. Watch the first one I uploaded though. Don't watch the second one. The first one is a better angle. I just released the second one because the video wasn't doing as good as I thought, so I was just hoping to get a little more out of it, considering we shot over 1,200 rounds during that video. But if you notice my recoil control, right, I actually handled the Hellcat better than the SIG. The SIG has more felt recoil, but the Hellcat had less muzzle flip, and that's simply based off how I can grip each handgun. I actually saw a YouTube short where people were talking about how it doesn't matter how you grip a handgun. They said that you should be able to shoot them all, right, with just fundamentals. Well, with the original P365 grip, it's so thin, it sort of just gives my hand a funky feel on the handgun, right? So the Wilson Combat Grip module being wider actually gives me like the perfect feel, exactly how I want to grip that handgun. With the Hellcat, it's a little wider in certain dimensions like than the original one, a little bit here, but it's also the texturing that's huge for me. But here's how I hold a handgun, right? I don't just go like this. A lot of people say just go like that and you're good, right? I don't do that. I do it more like this. They go straight on. I do it to the side. If you notice my palm swell right here, right? See this line right here? This crease where you have all that meat, right? Instead of just grabbing it, choking up and going like that, that's like what you teach new people. I turn to the side a little bit more. So if I was just going straight on, my hand would sit here. But I turn to the side a little bit more, right? That way the grip of my handgun is fitting perfectly with my hand. Let's do it with the Stoga, ready? Instead of just choking up, my hand sit here. That feels weird to me. I turn. Now I have my palm swell. Look, that fits perfectly in my hand. So when I'm holding it, I feel really secure. Like it literally is like a puzzle piece, and it just fits perfectly. IWI Masada Slim is very skinny, but I don't just choke up and then grab it. I turn. So if you did go straight up like that, then you turn. right? That's how I do it. That's what feels the best. Because look, now if I'm going straight on, now my palm is sitting awkward on it, right? You see that? If I go straight on, my palm is sitting weird. If I turn, it's now going with the curvature of that thumb meat or whatever you want to call it. That sounded sort of weird, my bad. But anyways, that's how I hold it, right? With my support hand. Something to keep in mind is, do not just grip. A lot of people just want to grip the handgun, right? Turn, they just want to grip it super hard. Well, your trigger finger hand should be really loose. It should be loosey-goosey. You want to hold, like a good purchase. It's somewhere in the middle. You don't want to be just loose and lenient, but at the same time, you don't want to be gripping it really hard, right? You want to just grab it. Not with a lot of force, just grab it. This is where your recoil control is going to come from, right? Grab it a little bit. And what I do is, people always ask, why do I do this weird thing with my hand underneath the handgun, right? Well, it's because that's how I get my grip. You'll see people, watch the videos of people shooting. They'll shoot the Hellcat, and their grip falls, and they got to redo it. They'll shoot again, they got to readjust the grip. I don't understand it. My grip is about as firm as can be. Ready? They'll be shooting, and they'll have to adjust their grip, or they'll have to adjust something. You'll notice it. Me, I just go boom, 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 right? You'll see. Anyways, with my thumbs and stuff like that, we're going to get into as well. But with my hand, it's very simple for me. I put my thumbs in between my fingers in between my knuckles as much as I can, and I don't go past my hand, right? Some people, curl too much. I just curl enough. See how it's almost flush with my knuckles? That's where I put them. That feels really, really good, right? It looks weird. And what someone taught me is, when you're getting a good shooting form, it's gonna feel awkward. It's gonna feel weird at first, right? So that's why over time, I kept doing it. I had a weirder grip at first before my surgeries, and then I had the ability to switch it really easily. But anyway, so I'll just curl it in between my knuckles. Look where my fingers are, right? And that feels good. And I can find that spot every time, right? I can find that spot every time, easy. And that just comes from repetition, right? So that's really easy. So I do that. Then never grab here. I see people shoot like this. I see people never do that, because here's the thing. This is your support hand. If you're strong with this hand and you're holding the trigger guard, you're going to be flinching and throwing shots, right? If you hold here, you're not pulling down. You're literally pulling in a direction if you're gripping. If you're here and your hand is notice my hand. It's not here. It's curled a little bit. See that? It's not here. I curl it a little bit, right? That gives me a better grip on the handgun altogether, right? And then as far as thumbs go, look at that. My thumb sits right below that slide. Never had an issue. I've never gotten slide bite, as you can see. Literally. So I grip it, and I got my fingers right where they need to be. Thumb right here. Even on short-barreled pistols, right? I still keep that thumb there. Some people adjust their grip, whereas a Hellcat has a memory pad. So instead of having it here, I'll pull back on the memory pad, right? And I'll just dig it in. But I still have this thumb curling. Some people go straight. I try to avoid going straight out like that, because then you can be messing with slide stops. I curl this way, right? Side of slim, turn. I curl outward, right? Some people say go forward with it. I curl outward. And what that's doing is it's my thumb is latching onto my firm hand. Therefore, I'm helping secure some of that recoil, right? Sorry, I'm trying to do the sights to the camera. But anyway, so I have this thumb here, which has really nice texturing for it. And so I'm just aiming where I want those shots to go. And then this is just not a ton of pressure. Remember, it's just sitting there. It's just resting. This whole hand is just resting. There is no tension. This is my grip hand that I'm actually supporting with. That way, when I pull that trigger, it's nice and smooth. Nice and clean. When you have too much grip in this hand, when you pull that trigger, you're going to dip, right? When you have a smaller handgun and you're anticipating recoil, you're going to dip. If you want to learn how to shoot and handle recoil, let the recoil go. Keep this hand very loose, and keep this hand firm, but not super firm. Let the gun cycle, right? Just let it go. You'll learn that recoil. You'll learn how to position your hands, and you'll learn how to fight. This is how I hold a Hellcat. I pull this thumb back. The thumb could be out here, but I pull it back to get in that memory pad, as that's what it's for, and I just curl. But I don't go straight on with the gun. It feels weird. I always turn it, get it in my hand, and man, do I have a great grip on this handgun. My hand is completely locked up right now. Everything. This is locked into here, in between my knuckles. This is locked over right here. This is locked under my beaver tail, and with that palm swell. I mean, that's how I do it. And I shoot all these handguns sort of effortlessly. I'm not bragging. It's just from over time. What I mean by effortlessly is I handle the recoil like it's nothing. They all are very flat shooting. The flatter shooting you can get your handgun to be, faster follow-up shots. The faster follow-up shots and on your sights, the better overall you're going to be. Hope this helped you guys. I want to see everyone get better. So that's what this video is for. Thanks for watching.